Yeah. So I think what we see changing, and if we talk about what kind of capabilities organizations and, let's face it, finance and portfolio teams need, is a shift from very centralized, bureaucratic, and process-oriented, dominated by political stage gate processes, to something that's more like a decentralized marketplace model with clear guardrails, with a lot of transparency, and still very clear top-down guidance and control. I think actually even more accountability you need to demand if you go that way. But it goes from central to decentral and more like a marketplace logic. What comes with that is moving away from centralized decision-making boards somewhere in the basement, I think we said somewhere in the past, to responsible contributors with clear ownership across the teams. And last but not least, I mean, that's, I think, already said, from fixed and long-term to something that's more dynamic, more frequent, and something you can constantly re-evaluate in the rhythm that fits your company, fits your environment. And also here, I think we also have the question, look, great concept. Obviously, I mean, this philosophy, we buy it, but how do you actually do it? Yeah, our finance, our controlling will never work that way. So I think I really liked the example that you suggested beforehand here as well, Jan. Maybe you can explain a little bit how you actually make that happen with your customers.
Yeah, happy to do so. I mean, it's always, as you already triggered, an intense discussion, of course, especially with finance and controlling. Now, I can understand it, of course. But as we said, we have an illusion in there that just because it's a plan, it will happen. And this, we all know it will not. So there will be changes anyway. And the main idea is removing this false certainty where we have those fixed budgets. And then if this it doesn't work in the end, so it's always a mess to sort it out. Starting initially, of course, with a picture of what might something cost in the end is important. Well, this is also important for your finance function. But saying very clearly as an investor, acting like an investor actually, okay, I will give you a certain sum for the next cycle and then show me the outcomes after that cycle. And we got the money to continue what you are doing if it works. But if it does not work, we will allocate it elsewhere. And this really to communicate, to establish also in the processes. So, and I've seen companies with 10,000s of FTEs making this work. So it does, as soon as you have the right tools and you have the right discussions, it also usually gives you controllers who are very, very happy with the new model working. But this also creates the right incentives actually for the teams behind those deliverables, because they know if they don't deliver on those outcomes, there will be a discussion to fund something else. And you will get into a discussion like with an investor. And that is the right focus we want to have, because in the end, as a company, from a board perspective, you give funds to get some impact. And this only works in a discussion where we can have a view on results on the way.